That's it. You're here with Ladylife and the Backstage Pass. You never know what happens backstage stays backstage. Tonight I have some special guests, some information on entertainment, music, fashion, and life. The good, the bad, the ugly. Now let's do it. Let's get right in with the Backstage Pass with Ladylife. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to Tuesday night and the Backstage Pass with Ladylife. Mike, I always want to sing, but I don't really sing. Maybe we'll play some of my music next time. So today, I have a shout out to Roy Chanfroni. It's his beautiful heavenly anniversary, and shout out to my boy who passed over, Oscar. We just want to say that we love you and the crew overseas and in New York. We love you so much. And then again, shout out to my Uncle Mo, who rushed into the hospital today. We had a crazy day today, but we made it to the show. And my special guest tonight is my beautiful friend, Diana. How are you, sweetheart?
I am very, very well. Happy to be here.
Hi, gorgeous. You look very tan next to me. I just want to say, Mike, right? I look very white. Obviously, you could tell I have not made it to the beach at all because all I do is work, and you look very beautiful. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you very much. I have not had any sun, but
well, I forgot you're just gorgeous. You're just gorgeous as it is. So tonight, which is really cool, it's my little pre-birthday extravaganza here on the Ladylife show. Ding, 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 ding. Little applause. Yay. Happy birthday. Not that I'm rushing my birthday or anything, because you and I were talking about ages last night. Definitely not aging myself, but You have which last night you surprised me. You're an amazing author, and you're also an intuitive who I met a little over 11 years ago on the Vinnie Vella show. Correct?
Yeah. Yes, 11 years.
I know. I Googled it to post some pictures, and I could not believe it said 11 years. And you gave me an angel that I had 11 years ago, and I just want to know, just want you to know that I keep it by my side on all my travels and everything. So thank you so much.
Oh, my soul had to give it to you.
Thank you. Well, you bum rushed my dressing. Remember, you bum rushed me and locked me, and you're like, I need to talk to you, girl. I have something to talk to you about. So, guys, if you're just tuning in tonight,
I get like that when it's something really important.
Yes. Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm important, and I'm glad we're still friends. So, guys, thanks for chiming in for the Backstage Pass with Ladylife tonight. Like, share, and add. We are live on Mix Vibes Radio on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. So, thank you so much for chiming in. So, tonight, you sleep shifters and people that can't sleep and people that just don't know what the hell is going on, myself, an insomniac. Actually, we were discussing this yesterday. Being on my diet for my second week, I didn't realize that insomnia is a part of the problem. So you're going to talk to us tonight about your book, but I want to rewind and I want to introduce you to the people that don't know you, because you are a little singer too. I used to come watch you downtown in the village and sing too. So you're a little singer.
I love.
Yes. Yeah. So let's get into this. So let's talk about the who, the what, the where. So where are you actually from? Where are you originally from?
Born and raised in New York City.
Awesome.
According to my DNA, I'm from 23 parts of the planet.
Wow.
But according to my DNA, I'm from all over the world. But technically speaking, I am Puerto Rican. My parents are from Puerto Rico. And born and raised in New York.
Okay. Awesome.
And New Yorker through and through, but love San Francisco as well and the world. So I'm kind of just here, like experiencing this planet. So I say I'm an earthling.
I had a website a long time ago. Don't. I mean, this sounds weird. Called thelittleearthling.com, and I thought I could do everything because, as a hairdresser, we use a lot of plastic, a lot of aerosols, and I wanted to do better for the earth. And then who knew? Like 10 years later, we would have all this global warming and all these issues. So maybe me and you will do thelittleearthling.com again. But Diana,
absolutely.
I just want to talk to the people about how intuitive you actually are. So before we get into your 4 books, which I didn't know was 4 books, let's talk about when did you know? Because as you know, I'm an intuitive as well. When did you know? I'm going to say mine was at age 7. But when did you know that you actually had a gift, that you could see entities or be a clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant? When did you think that you knew what you actually were?
Actually, it took decades. What I did know was that I was ultra sensitive, and I took everybody and every animal's emotions in, and I didn't know it was called an empath.
Wow.
So that really happened in my 30s. when I realized I was a psychic empath.
Really?
Yeah.
So you.
But I knew I was sensitive. Like I knew things. I knew that I could dream strange dreams and perceive people's emotions. And
Wow.
but I didn't know what it was called until I did my scholarly research and I realized it's called a psychic empath and ever evolving because it changes. But for now, I'm a psychic empath.
Wow. So I guess I mean I met you a little over I met you let's say 11, 12 years ago. So wow. So wow, you were just kind of breaking into that and
Yeah.
your first, what was your first book? What was the first book?
It is called You're Not Crazy. It's paranormal.
Right. You're so cute. Thank you for showing everybody that. Right. So I think I met you. Isn't that the first one that was right after I met you?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
And it's funny because my girlfriend's daughter, who's here in the background, Gigi. Hey, Gigi. Welcome, Gigi, to the crowd. Her mom and I used to, like, my friends would be like, why are you reading cards and doing all this stuff? I never really knew that I was an intuitive. Who knew? And now my nickname is Life. And as you and I discussed yesterday, that this is a part of me, and I'm like a mother. But when you saw late in the 30s, so growing up, you had to have some type of intuition, because I would tell my friends things like when I would see them auras, and you said to me last night, the second I saw you, did you say my light exploded? What was the comment you used?
Yeah. When I saw you, that's those first seconds when you approached me, a light of explosion, beautiful light, enfolded me.
Oh.
It was really warm and beautiful, and you immediately took my nervousness and my uncertainty, and I felt comforted.
Wow.
And confident.
You know,
And
if you watch the video, if anybody Googles Diana and Ladylife on the Vinny Bella show, God rest his soul, our dear friend Vinny, it's funny because you could see I'm so uncomfortable doing what I was doing because I'm very nervous. And I had no idea, until right now, I had no idea you were uncomfortable, because they actually did 3. If you look at the YouTube, it was so long, they broke it up into 3 parts. I had no idea you were even nervous that night. I do know you were like, came into my dressing room, you were like, I need to talk to you. Here's an angel. Here you go. You need to keep this with you. And who knew 11 years later we would be doing this? I mean, this was not
11,
planned. Oh God, you are so smart. Yes, 11. So after the book, You're Not Crazy, what were you guys into? Like, what changed you and the dynamics? You obviously did a memoir of your life and what happened. What triggered you to do stuff like that? Like, you just became a writer out of the blue. All of a sudden, I saw you writing books and doing. How did that all start?
It started decades ago with my journals, and it's, when I was in my 20s, even younger, I was always like the counselor. So I kind of knew I had a special connection with people. I was always doing counseling, whether it's crisis counseling or academic advising, and I kind of knew things about people. And I started realizing that after I had what we call the dark night of the soul,
Wow,
2001, and that led to a psychic opening or a spiritual awakening that continues and continues and continues. And those moments, I realized I better learn a little bit more about this. Thank goodness we have the internet and we have resources now with a lot more information. And I started learning the tarot. I started learning more about what tools you can use to improve your intuitive abilities and how to protect, how to put boundaries. When I met you, when you knew me, I didn't know how to do that quite well.
Really?
And I got very sick. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I was like taking everybody's stuff in, and I got very, 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 very
well,
sick.
that's why I actually was very young, and I guess I was seeing auras, and it was at a point, being a hairdresser, I see like a million people in my seat, and when I was young, I would do like 16 people a day. I was taking that stuff home with me, and I didn't understand what I was going through, and I literally, people would walk in my house, and I would just say, oh my God, I'm so sorry for your loss, and the people would be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I felt loss around them, and they would be like, my aunt just died. So like,
hairdressers, bartenders, nurses, they tend to be
service.
empaths.
Yes. So yeah, you know what? Definitely an empath. But
I didn't. Wow, I'm so surprised. You're like shocking me right now. So, is that what made you want to write all these books? Like express it, like
Yes.
because people don't know.
Instead of doing it a person by person,
Right.
session by session, which is very exhausting, I said let me
Oh my
put it in
God.
a platform where people can read, and instead of doing the Q&A one-on-one, people can just read it, and then we can talk about it, and then we can talk about strange experiences or spiritual emergencies and experiencing strange things and what could they mean in an orderly fashion, but giving you the background. So all the writing, including the memoir, is about how adversity can be a wake-up call to your true purpose, which might mean to serve humanity. Take care of yourself, but to serve humanity. And so it's one, they're really all connected. And as you read them, for whoever has read them, they can see the connection. And it's a thread because ultimately everything's connected anyway.
You know, you listen. I told you how I started this show. I woke up one day and I was like, "All right, God, what are you talking about?" He was like, "You're going to do a show," and I was like, "I'm going to be a talk show host." And then I met Mike here, and ding ding to Mike, who I drive crazy because I have my Beyonce
Yes.
fan. I tell him it's hot in here all the time. He loves me. He's my little baby fan. I drive him nuts. He says I'm very Madonna, but you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I did it for when I was very young. I had a best friend whose mom was very psychic, who helped police find children, and like she was really, really deep. And I would go over her house to hang out, and she would be like, "Oh, you're not going out. She's staying with us." And I would be at something called the White Table. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the White Tables, where all these healers would line up and they would sit at a table. I was extremely young when this went down, and
Wow.
spirit would jump in and I think I'm going to say I was at the table with, I don't really talk about this stuff, but I'm going to say maybe 20 people. It was a very, very long table with a white cloth. And all I remember is the name of the spirit that jumped in the main person at the table. Of course, they put me like right by the head of the table. So when spirit was out, I was like deathly afraid. And now I'm talking when I was wearing blue and mascara and pink lipstick. So this is the 80s or 90s.
I remember it well.
Yes, I'm sure you do. And spirit came in me. I made a speech. When I had come to, all my makeup on the white fabric was all over the place, and they were like, "Oh my God, that was amazing! Your speech." I had absolutely no idea what happened, but that's when I met my first guide, and I have 3 guides: Christoph, Sally, and Magdalia. And Sally.
Wow.
Was a young girl. I always say she looks like the poltergeist girl, the blonde head girl. That's the only way I can describe her. Supposedly, Sally had come through and said this big thing to the table. And then all of a sudden, all these people were like, "She's a healer." And they were like lying on the floor and they were making me touch people's hands. I said to my girlfriend, "Don't ever let me go out with your mother ever again. I am never doing that ever again."
That could be an incredibly
it was,
traumatic,
yeah.
but also exciting experience.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not going to lie, Diana. At 18 and 19, I got into, music and I started dancing and performing at clubs. I have to tell you, I got very scared of it because I would walk in and see colors over people. And I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like when you told me that last night that you saw my color, I was like, wow, so I guess I'm doing this right. Like this is what you actually see. Yellows,
There's
purples,
no wrong.
greens, blues.
There's no wrong unless you're dabbling with evil stuff.
Yes,
That's the
well,
only wrong.
that I'm not gonna lie, I never really tapped into. I'm hoping I'm on the side of angels, which I believe so.
No worries there.
Yeah. So, and I know you and I are so connected. So after the memoir, you got into. Did you start doing? Have you ever done private readings for people besides the one like you ambushed me?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Wow. Can you tell us maybe about one that you remember that struck you differently?
I think that each person has their own special message. I can tell you that overall, what I would get from readings is the surprise people have when you know things about them that nobody should know. And they can be very pleased, but they can also feel very vulnerable.
Oh, yes.
And fortunately, I had the background, the psychology background, and the counseling background to be able to reassure them that it's confidential, it's safe, and it is a gift for them to know that they themselves have this ability. I'm not special. We're all capable of it. It's a matter of attuning yourself to it. So I would
Wow.
say that if I were to choose any specific thing, you know, the show that we did together with Vinnie Vella, with the cards that came out that night, everybody can see that. You know, people can tune into YouTube and see us. That was because I don't know what I'm gonna get.
I think if we watched the show, I think I got scared and I said we'll do it in the dressing room, and I think you had already said, "Girl, we're doing this on our own." And you know what? I was overworking at the time. You didn't even know me, and I was with someone, and you were like, "You need to transfer." Right after I saw you, I think I wound up going on tour. All these big records came out because you told me I needed to break away from everything I was doing and restart, and I did that, and I thank you for that.
Yes.
And I've had some of those guys on the show too.
Yeah, and even the reading I did for Vinnie Vella himself, he was very surprised that I caught something. He almost passed away earlier before he passed away, you know, when his time came, and that came out in the cards as well. And he was like, "Oh my God, nobody knew about this. I almost died." And it's just we're connecting. We're connecting. I'm connecting with the person at the energy level. I'm a, you know, a channel for whatever is truth and love. That's it. I don't have any special powers.
Well,
all can do is tune myself to
I think you have special powers because I listen. We have been so close for so long. So if you guys are just, I just want to do some shout outs. We got some people. Hey, Christine.
Sure,
Hey,
yeah.
Sean. Hey, guys. Everybody's chiming in tonight. We're here with an amazing intuitive psychic and 4-time author, Diana Navarro. We want to quickly pay the bills. Thank you all for chiming in tonight, this Tuesday and every Tuesday night on the Backstage Pass with Ladylife, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey man, where'd you get that shirt? I don't know. I got it from Doe Wiz Apparel. Swap way to get that money. Check them out. T-shirts, jumpsuits, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more. Don't forget to get your hot mask. Spring and summer 2021 with Doe Wiz Apparel. An untapped culture that says it's okay to be smart. Smart way to get that money. www.doewizapparel.com. Are you looking for your dream home? Well, I know the guy to do it. Sean Lynch at the E18 Real Estate Group, LLC. Licensed real estate salesperson. Office phone number 718-915-7000 or direct at 516-399-7333. Email Sean Lynch at 18newyork.com. Located at 540 Little Neck Parkway, Suite number 5, Little Neck, New York. Once again, that's Sean Lynch at the 18 New York.
Girl, I'm looking at you. You're so tan and beautiful, and I'm like uber white. I'm drinking my hydro water. I got this new shout out to the water bar. I got this new water. It's either hydration or alkaline, and I've been drinking it, and I was told maybe that's what's keeping me up all night. I didn't know that, but it gives me like a ton of energy, and I'm over here drinking it, and I kept saying, you know, God, I can't sleep. And the guy's like, maybe you're going to be up for weeks. Maybe you're going to pee all day. I'm like, whatever it is, dude. I just want to lose weight. And
as long as they're hydrated, right?
Right, right. As long as we're hydrated, and it's funny because you and I talked about that, and I was told by this psychic woman I was telling you about. I actually, when she passed away, her family gave me all her angels, so I have them all over my home. One lights up, one moves, one has got like wings, and you know, my husband to this day is like, remember when the angel lit up? I was like, yeah, I guess that's why I married you. So shout out to my husband, too, because I know you're watching. Hey, Luke, what's going on in Canada? Hey, guys. We have Canada watching tonight. Thanks for chiming in. We have Puerto Rico live, and we have Las Vegas live, Atlantic City. Hey, guys, what's going on? We're live here with the Backstage Pass with Ladylife with my wonderful dear friend, intuitive and author, Diana Navarro. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. Little applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, guys, for chiming in tonight. So let's move forward. So we do the book, You're Not Crazy. We do the memoir, and now obviously you're tapped in. You're in your 40s. You're going in. You're seeing all these guides. You're seeing the future. Basically, what made you? I was so surprised, and this is the weirdest thing. I know you realize. I asked you to be on the show, and it's Authors Month. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you to be on the show for Authors Month for your other book, and you're like, I'm releasing a book tomorrow. I was like, I had no idea. Remember, you were like, girl, I'm releasing a book. Did you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't know, because you hadn't posted it yet. And then you said, I'm releasing a book about sleep. And I said, why would you do something like that? And you said, before I could even say the word dreams, because you do most of your work in your sleep. And before Left Eye Lopez passed away, I saw it coming. Before the guy from Run DMC passed away, I saw it coming. And 4 days prior to my mother's death, I'm not an artist, but I drew across the funeral and flowers, and these were all in dreams. So I want to talk about this, your sleep sweet spot. So they can purchase this book on all platforms, correct?
Yes, it's on Amazon, it's on my website, it's on Google Play, and it will be on more platforms as we move on. So yes.
Okay,
and,
awesome. So what's the link that they can purchase this book on? Because guys, if you need to sleep and you got issues, and we all have issues sleeping, because you all know I wake up early in the morning and I work my little butt off. So what made you write this? Were you having dreams and having it? I couldn't believe you're releasing a sleep book. I'm like, this is my biggest problem in my life right now. And Mike, Mike, what do you always say to me? How the hell are you doing this, girl?
Yeah.
I literally, I cat nap every, right?
It's like a robot.
I am not a robot. I'm not gonna lie. You know, hey, shout out to Angie, Mr. Roboto. You guys call me Mr. Roboto. You know what it is, Mike? I just like to help people, and you're the same way. You know, we're the same way.
I'm the type of person that always picks up the phone even when I'm sleeping. It's like,
Exactly. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't you? I think Gigi even called me today. I was like sleeping, and I
good.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop. So you wrote this book on sleeping, and you were mentioning to me it was because you were touched in your sleep, and so am I. And that's what I told you. Like that day, I woke up one morning, and
should I want to be touched when I sleep?
We all want to be touched.
Well, no, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I want to tell you something. Diana, I want to take 1 second to talk about this. I stayed in somebody's home. I was going on a tour. The tour bus was leaving in the morning. I was sleeping in the chair, and I felt someone touch my chest, like literally place their hand on my chest. So I freaked out. It was a beautiful mansion in Glen Cove. I don't remember. It was quite some time ago, prior to meeting you. And all night, I kept feeling this presence touch me in my sleep. And in the morning, I guess I was sleeping with my earrings on. One of my favorite earrings was gone. And I yelled at the guy. I made him look all over the house before we got on the bus. I'm like, I can't go on tour without this earring. It's my favorite. He's like, oh, you met Henry.
I was gonna say you stood at Bill Cosby's house.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, well, I wasn't roofied, but let me tell you something. The guy told me, he's like, oh, you met Henry? I go, who the fuck is Henry, man? He's like, oh, he lives in the attic. I was like, there's a guy that lives in the attic? He's like, well, because all the I'm a little bit of a diva. I like my dancers to say, I always like to be alone prior to shows because I like to do vocal rest. I like to focus on what I'm going to do.
Yeah, sure.
I like to be alone. That's just my thing. I'm a little bit of a loner. And he was like, oh, Henry's a nice guy. Don't worry about it. I go, Henry? I go, he kept touching my chest last night. Every time I would close my eyes, he would go like this to me. He would just touch me. And then I was like all night long, and the guy thought it was crazy. They were all laughing at me. They're cooking waffles like, oh, Henry came to visit. Like,
that's so funny.
Yeah,
wow. And he took your earring. Did he give it back?
I never, ever found that earring. We looked all over the place. I know he took it. And you know why I know he took it? Because you know and I know that metals... ghosts like metal. They like metal for the strength.
Like energy. Anything
energy. Correct.
Energy.
It was a metal. It was a metal square. It was probably I don't even know why I would wear it. It was the ugliest earring ever, but I loved it back
but you
then.
loved them.
It was just a big pink metal square. And it was gone. And I was so upset over it. And they were like, oh, they were laughing and joking. But I was actually touched by him. And I still remember till this day what the feeling felt like. They literally come on your chest. They place their hands on you. And they wait for you to wake up and go, what you doing, motherfucker? What you talking about, Willis? I felt him. I felt him. I know I felt him. And it's been a while. Is that what you were saying yesterday when we spoke about in your dreams? You feel them coming
part of
to you?
It's definitely part of it. There are many, many different ways that manifests, and that's one of them. It's first of all, I've always had a sleep condition where I need to sleep more than the average person.
Wow.
It's called excessive sleepiness.
Wow.
And ever since I was a baby, like I would not wake up for anything. Like she would have to force feed me. Growing up, the same thing. Sleep, sleep, sleep. My father would say, "You're gonna sleep your life away." I didn't realize that it was something was going on in my dream life, in my soul, soul
Wow.
traveling. But I also wanted to write this book, your sleep sweet spot, to talk about the technical stuff as well, to see how it goes together. Because I know that there's a lot of skepticism and cynicism about, spirit and all that. And it's important to understand sleep and how we really need restoration. We need to make time. We need to make it important. It is not an afterthought. It is not a, oh, I have no choice because my body is collapsing. Make time for it. Make a ritual for it. Like that, you can have more
Mike's looking at
conductive
me right
environment.
now like, Lynn, you need sleep. I know everybody can see my bags under my eyes, but I do this because I love you. Wait, quickly, my little niece, Gigi. Gigi, you sleep a lot, right? Because I see your boyfriend constantly TikTok you all the time. You're a big sleeper, right? Yeah.
I fall asleep on everybody.
She falls asleep on
Like,
everybody.
even, like, my own
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
hi,
a
everybody.
Hi, we have
Yeah,
a guest
so-
in the studio.
Hi.
Gigi, you sleep a lot.
Yeah, I have the constant reputation in the friend group of falling asleep during hangouts. We'll be out with my friends at our house, and I'll sit and I'll just start falling asleep.
How do you fall asleep
I
like
don't
that?
know.
Well,
I
you
can't
probably
explain
have narcolepsy.
it. Yeah,
and-
my boyfriend, he's telling me, he's like, you should really go to the doctor and like get
every
that
tick-
checked out.
Every tick, first of all, a shout out to Josh. Every TikTok this poor boy has, he puts her on. They're like the cutest influencer couple. Every TikTok he has her, he's like hanging out with my girlfriend, and she's like this the whole time, and then she's like this, and then she's like that. I'm like, well, I don't think I ever slept when I hung out with my boyfriends when I was
yeah,
younger.
he has like a whole album of just times I've fallen asleep.
You know why?
It's
That's
so
why you're
funny.
beautiful. And you know what? You guys can't see her, but she's absolutely gorgeous, and that's because she probably gets enough sleep.
I sleep
Yes,
a lot.
absolutely, no joke. That is
I need
absolutely
Lancome
true.
and puffy pads and face pads, and all the girls at work. I'm always giving all these amazing iPads. I'm like, where the hell do you get all this? I do it because I need it, because I do like my beauty sleep. Like I'm even my husband could tell you, like if I have to sleep, he knows I like to get my sleep in, because when I get my sleep in, I perform better. First of all,
Yes.
I hold scissors in my hands. You probably don't want me not sleeping holding scissors in
Yeah.
my hands. I don't want to
That's
cut your
right.
hair, but wrong. But I need sleep to just perform in what I do, and it's because I give so much love to my clients. And you were talking about this yesterday. Like, I've been doing hair for more than 30 years, not to age myself, but listening to them and going
I'm
through their
51.
problems.
It's okay.
Yeah, but you look
Age
good.
better.
You look amazing. Yes, we age well. But listening to people's problems, like you said, and taking it all home, it's a lot of baggage on you. Like sometimes, like you could have a great day, and your last client's like, dude, you don't understand. I had the worst day, and you because you feel for them, you take it home with you. So
Yes.
So-
and you have to learn self-care and how to release that.
And
You're not-
I've been. I'm on day 9. Thank you, Beachbody and Christina. Shout out to my girlfriend. I'm on
And
day
sleep-
9.
Sleep is a very important way to self-care, and the sleep again comes in. The whole sweet spot thing is creating a ritual around sleep to
So what?
make it sacred.
Yes, and that's the thing. I think even if you, because listen, all these women I know that doing a home shows, none of them are sleeping. I'm not the only one. There's millions of women. There's millions of men out there. Everybody's home on live. Everybody's home doing videos. Everyone's famous at home on doing their thing.
Except me, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, and that's
And
why,
writing.
and that's why you're gorgeous, and that's why you're writing. So, can you tell us a little bit about? I noticed you had RLS as one of the notes. Can you go down the list of what's actually in this book? Because I know a lot of people that suffer from RLS, which is restless leg syndrome, and when people get home, now this is what I do. I immediately, because I'm on my feet 16 to 17 hours a day. When I get home, I put my feet up. Now, and you mentioned that it's about balance. Can you break down the science between your body standing all day and how to connect with yourself and reconnect while you have to put your feet up and kind of relax and maybe do maybe a mantra?
It
Can you
depends on what you're
talk about
doing.
that?
Like, for example, if you stand all day, then you need to find a way of, increasing the circulation on your legs. There are people that are sitting all day, so they need to do something else. They'll need to do some type of workout. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. You don't have to go running and jogging a marathon, but it could be gentle stretching or just something that really reharmonizes you. The book has 3 parts. I don't know why I have 3 parts. And the first part is talking about sleep itself, the stages of sleep, cycles, with people are the day person, night person, somewhere in between.
Okay.
If you sleep in one chunk or you sleep in naps. And the second part is about dreams, all the stuff we talked about a few minutes ago, dreams, nightmares, soul travel, sleep paralysis. And then the last part of the book is the ritual or the habits that you create using all your senses to make your sleep as healthy and restorative and peaceful as possible.
Wow.
The sleep part talks about some of the disorders, for example, the restless leg syndrome, sleep paralysis, parasomnia. There are people that wake up and eat in the middle of the night. There are people that get up and they have something called exploding head syndrome, where they are falling asleep and they hear, feel an explosion. There are people who have, like I said, hallucinations during sleep paralysis, where they'll feel entities around them. And I talk about the scientific explanation, but I talk about what other sleep books aren't talking about, the spiritual explanation.
Wow.
Because there's something going on. There's an interconnection there.
And I remember yesterday, right as we spoke, I was just about to say dreams, and I know this sounds crazy, but like I feel like I dreamt everything I did, I dreamt like in my life. Like I feel like I saw it and it happened, and then I write it down and it happens. Like, how could one human be? I mean, I know my birthday's this week, and they say August is Leos have the intuitive connection, but I feel like I can see the future, and I feel my husband sees it in me all the time. Like, he knows I'm like, babe, we gotta go. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, I feel it out. We're done. It's over. And he listens to me. And he's actually got it too. He's another fire sign. So we have this amazing connection when it comes to it. And look at her. She's like, I'm an Aries too. Gigi's like, I'm an Aries. We got fire signs all over the place here.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer.
Well, you're ruled by the moon. I'm ruled by the sun. So you add this other side to. We're the only
I'm
two
wearing
signs.
sun tonight.
Yeah, yes, you are. And we're the only 2 signs that are not ruled by planets. So we are extremely intuitive. As far as Cancers, we never really know what you guys are thinking or feeling. As far as Leos, we always know what you're thinking and feeling because we wear our heart on our sleeve. You guys are a little more mysterious. So we're learning about this tonight. I'm just going to quickly chime in to everybody chiming in. Hey, Brett. Hey, Gerard. Thanks for chiming in tonight. Welcome to the Backstage Pass with Ladylife on Tuesday night. I get so into the show, I forget to do my advertisement. So we're just going to pay the bills really quickly tonight with Diana Navarro, 4-time author, a wonderful friend of mine. You could check out our 11-year-old interview on YouTube with Vinny Bella. But thank you for chiming in. Like, share, and add on mixedvibesradio.com.
Ultimate Dance Academy. Do you think you have what it takes in hip-hop, African, modern, ballet, acting, jazz, and musical theater? That's okay. Come check us out at UDA. Anthony Borello, Artistic Director, Choreographer to the Stars. Check them out this summer. It's a summer intensive, dance-safe, outdoor location, and indoor. Also, make sure you check us out at Ultimate Dance Academy, 718-527-8450, located at 13895 Francis Lewis Boulevard.
Hey, Brett, I see a lot of people. Guys, if you want to watch The Other Side live, if you go to YouTube and Mix Vibes Radio, you could see both sides. I know it's a little difficult when I'm in the studio on my own, but you can go on Twitch. You can go on.
Show.
Yes, the complete show. I always just do Facebook because some of my friends want to watch it, but I'm getting a lot of notifications right now. You could watch it live on Mix Vibes Radio on the actual YouTube channel, and you could see both sides. When they're not in the studio, you're only going to hear one side.
Or just go to YouTube and search Backstage Pass with Ladylife.
I'm sorry. Or you can go on YouTube and I'm sorry. That was stupid. Am I being cheesy? Sorry, just freaking Google Ladylife. I've been around for 31 years, and we're talking to Diana Navarro, one of my dear friends who I hold very close to my heart. So, Diana, we have about 15 minutes left, and I want to talk a little bit about entities because a lot of people in the quarantine. And a lot of my friends have always asked me, why don't you read cards anymore? Why don't you do this anymore? They have to understand that because I go to the depths that I go to, I have 3 of the 5 senses. I have a clairaudient, clairsentient, and clairvoyant. And because I'm that powerful, I try to heal back from it. I see a lot of things coming way before the person sees it, and I try not to be involved in it anymore, even though that's not the best thing to do. But sometimes, if my friend's like, oh my God, I'm looking for something and I can't find it, I'll go like this. I'm in the kitchen, like, how the hell do you find it?
Wow.
My intuitive picks it
Yeah,
up.
that's great.
I'll help you when it comes to stuff like that. But as far as your future projects, what do you see yourself doing? Because I would love if you could, especially even if you came here, I would really love for you to do this live. And I know like you're more into writing and books and you're a little shy like me. We both talk about that we're very shy. You guys don't know this, but even though I do have a show, it's very difficult for me. Mike, am I not frantic when I come in here? Gigi was like crazy.
Absolutely.
Ring the
People don't
frantic
realize
bell.
that. They just think you're extroverted.
I
Like, no,
am
I'm
not.
totally
I am not an
introvert.
extrovert.
Yeah.
He's giving me an applause, but I am not an extrovert. I'm the girl that sits in the back of the bus, that sits in the back of the classroom, that sits in the back of the stage. And when I go out on stage, something happens to me. And I explained that to you yesterday. Spirit comes in me. And what happens is Lynn is my soul body, but Lady Life is my spirit. Lady Life will come marching in with her high heels and her boots and go nuts. But Lynn is very shy, very sensitive, very timid, very loving. So I know we all have our alter ego. Even Beyonce talks about this. Even Madonna, happy birthday to Madonna. She even talks about this. When Madonna is Madonna, she's over there trying to help kids in Malawi. But when she's Madge, she turns into something else. People don't get it. It's not easy to have a show. It's not easy to tell people, oh my God, I see your future. I see you and your husband having 3 kids. I mean, I was at the point where I was naming my friends having children 7 years in advance, birth dates. And they were like, I'm not going to have a kid in 7 years. And they actually did. And people, my girlfriends, Dawn and Dawn, could tell you, shout out to my girls, people could tell you that I've done this. And I have to be honest with you, Diana, it kind of scares me. Because I never.
It can be overwhelming and it can
is.
be very, very intense and take a lot of energy from you. You don't know how to replenish it. And
I
balance
don't.
it out.
I'm not going to lie. I don't. And I never did. And I think that's why I stepped away from it. And I write all these songs. And a lot of people were like, where do you get, you write these songs. They're so deep. And I'm like, I can't explain it because I see, I don't see, I'm extremely non-prejudiced. I don't see black and white. I see colors. And I tried to explain that to people. Like when, Gigi, by the way, whenever I look at you since you're a baby and I held you, I gave you your first bath, by the way. When you're still, she's laughing because she did pee on me. I picked her up. I was like, Gigi, we were 20 years old. My best friend had a baby. And yes, don't laugh. It's funny. Everybody ring the bell. Everyone can talk about this. Michael, I picked her up and I was like, Christine, look, we have a baby. And she peed. It was gross. I was traumatized. And she's the most beautiful. You could run in here and say hi real quick. So this is Gigi. This is my baby girl. Can you say hi, guys? This is my Gigi. Come on all the way over
Hi,
here.
Gigi.
Hi, Gigi. This is Auntie Diana.
Hi.
So ever since Gigi was born, I've always seen yellow. She's my little sunflower. Awesome. I love you. Thank you. So yeah, she wanted to come tonight, but I've always, whenever I see her, wherever we go, I don't say, hey, Gianna, you're yellow today. You're orange. But she doesn't understand that because we never really tapped into my psychic ability, correct? No. No, I never talked about that, right, with you?
There's no better time than doing it on live.
Yeah, no, not really.
Right, exactly. But Gigi, I could tell you this. Your mother could tell you, I got so into card reading, I made my closet. I had, remember the old school beads? Come on, you know the Spanish beads
Oh, I
where you
bought
would
those.
walk.
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I'm putting them on my doorway.
Oh, yes, girl. Oh, my God. See, you're an intuitive. So I would go through the beads. I would sit my friends down. I would be in the little, when the house is like
The teepees?
The teepee house. And I would sit them in the room, and everybody would line up. And ask Aunt Conti, ask Aunt, all of our girls. They would come in, and they would leave like so overwhelmed and so happy. But, Diana, I have to be honest with you. I don't even know what I did. It just came out.
Right, because you're probably do what I did, which is like a channel for the information. And so it's not your ego, it's not your mind, it's you tapping into the field and getting the information out and to that right channel of that person, that that frequency of that person. Each person's different. I'm sure you know this. One person can be uplifting after you finish the reading, and the other person can make you sick for 3 days.
Oh my God! I would do haircuts, and like somebody would leave my chair, and I would be like, I can't be here anymore. My stomach is killing me.
This is why I stopped doing the readings. I do them very carefully now. Very carefully, because I would just get sick for days and days because we want to help. And then
you know what? When you said, when I told you before, I didn't say that, but I'm being honest with you. Diana, I was definitely ill. I was so ill sometimes I couldn't fit. Not ill meaning coughing and sick, but my body was completely shut down. And remember when you're young and you're 21 and you're working on 57th Street and, we had a walk-in salon. Shout out to Salon Ziba, all my friends for 30 years. I still love you all and you all watch me. Thank you so much. People would come in and, people from all over the world came because the Met was there, the Hard Rock Cafe, Broadway Dance Center, famous dancers. I would physically leave and go home and not be able to lift my hands, my arms, my feet. I couldn't even make it to dance practice the next day because I didn't know what was happening to me.
Oh gosh, I know the feeling so well.
So how do you get out of, as intuitives, how do we get out of this?
Number one, get in the shower and rinse with salt water, just regular tepid salt water, with your shower gel. When you're done, just use salt. Sea salt, regular kosher salt.
Sea salt, eucalyptus at Kohl's, $3.99. I use it all the time.
And it's very simple, just to get the immediate gunk out of your system. And then there are other ways. A little bit too much to get into detail here, but you burn sage, you drink sage tea, you just cleanse. There are things to do before you see somebody, and there are people you need to avoid altogether. But let's say you can't avoid them. There are shields you need to put in front of you to protect you. So the light comes through, but no other lower vibrations can come through, and you're protected.
Okay, we need to talk about this. So a lot of people that are listening right now, I know you feel that some people around you have to guard yourself. So what does one say when around someone? And it's funny that you say that because my husband at home is probably like, holy shit, she tells me that all the time. When I'm around a presence that I physically cannot be around, my whole entire body shuts down and we physically have to leave an event. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, babe, I'm telling you, this is what it is. And then the next day we find out all this stuff happened. And I'm like, I'm telling you, how does one know? But I think I got like, which I never, I get maybe a sweaty palm. I get maybe a sweat. I get, right now I'm getting choked up because I feel like all my spirits they're coming through to say that I love you and that they're with you and they're holding you and embracing you. I feel like it's all about you right now and that you just need this external love and this external hug. I hope you're feeling it. But what is it that you do to protect yourself from people? And this is quarantine COVID. We're in a third world country. Shit is rough out there. What does somebody need to do just to protect themselves?
Well, that's complex question. It's a very complicated question because it's not one size fits all. It depends on the person. There are family members you can't avoid, for example, or there are, neighbors you can't avoid. So it really depends on the relationship you have with the person. There are people you just come across. And if it's really, 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 really dangerous, like a dangerous person, you can feel when somebody's going to attack you. I mean, I've had that happen to me so many times. You immediately shield yourself, shield up, light, love, truth. I'm protected, my guides, my guardians, my family. If you believe in God, which I do, God protect me. You envision a blue cross. Don't ask me why it's blue. It's something I learned in like Vedic yoga, but it works. And you're protected. Try to get out of the situation, but most of the time, the situation magically dissolves.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I always say, when I'm feeling uncomfortable, and I don't think I've even said this in front of my husband, and we're together we're going on over 6 years, let the divine light inside guide me. That's what I say.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I say.
Each person has their own unique language they use with their creator. With me, it might be, shields up, because I've done so much preparation for that little term. I've done so much prayer, and that I know that that's going to encompass all my guides, my loved ones, my guardians, the ascended masters. For somebody else, it could be like a whole longer prayer if they're not used to praying. And you're going to find your phrase, your mantra, your words that are going to kick in. It's going to kick in and protect you. But again, it depends on the individual relationship that you have with each person. What I would just say, I ask for protection for my higher self, your soul, and then move on from there, like to angels and God, and ask for protection. It's a little hard to say because it depends. It's the context. You have to give me.
You're absolutely right. Yesterday I went to my 22nd funeral in 16 months, and I told you that I felt like some of my friends, like, they say to me, oh, like every time I talk to you, you're going to a funeral, but I don't feel like I'm at a funeral. I feel like I'm there to collect the energy and give the angel their wings and letting them fly, and I'm giving them their blessing, and I'm part of their life on earth. Although it was a short time or a long time or whatever it is, I had a lot of very unfortunate deaths this year because we were not allowed to go into the what do you call those, the nursing homes and the hospitals because of COVID, and a lot of people did not get to say goodbye to their loved ones this year, and I'm finding that a lot of them are having a trouble saying goodbye. And is it so? Maybe you're right, finding a prayer. I actually use an app called Aura. It's phenomenal. There's self-taught guidance on it. There's meditation. There's relaxation. I like the sounds. My girlfriends do Tibetan sounds. It's really crazy, but I don't think anybody even knows this, but I wrote some of my biggest house hits to like actual Tibetan backgrounds. I used to have actually, when I met you, when I lived in the city, the waterfalls. Remember those old things you would get like a Bed Bath and Beyond? They would like be a waterfall, and it would like ding ding dong, da ding ding dong, in like the background. Mike's looking at me like I'm crazy. Mike, I swear to God, a sound of a waterfall and just dripping rain. I was able to write one of my biggest hits, All I Do, to the sound of just dripping. And it was a huge, massive hit. And then they told me, oh, where'd you get the beat? Where'd you get that? And I pressed it. They were like, what are you talking about, dude? That's a freaking air filter, like a water drop. Sometimes.
Well, I mean, some people just aren't spiritually there yet. So they're not going to understand. To them, it's just a waterfall. For you, it's an opening. For you, it's a gateway. And I think that, for example, with the sleep, I sleep with ocean sounds myself, or whale songs.
Yes, Alexa. I'm like, Alexa, put it on, girlfriend. Alexa, give me the whale.
Yeah.
Alexa, give me. Wow, so whale sounds. I think I'm going to tell Alexa to drop down some whales tonight. What do you think, Mike? I'm like, meow, meow. Well, there's a lot of sharks.
I had to look back, make sure it was muted, because she would have been like.
Oh yeah. Well, did I do the whale sound wrong? What is it? I don't even know. I'm so retarded, Diana.
They are beautiful. They are so soothing.
Wow. So whale sounds. I would. You know what? I'm hearing it now in my brain, but I normally say, Alexa, please put on meditation music, and I and my husband, we go to a lot of indigenous events. We like to get blessed at them. There's very few indigenous left, and they're trying to take part of the lands up in Randall's Island that they owned. So we try our best to do, support the spirit of the city. And as you know, because you live here, we're going through a lot right now. We are going through like homeless and no governor and a new governor, and the food banks are empty, and all the methadone clinics are closing, and all the homeless is closing. We are having a rough time. And I actually had a meeting with somebody today who is in Los Angeles for this reason. And LA, Los Angeles, I'm talking Venice Beach, has double the amount of homeless than we have. And I could not believe that she told me that today, because LA is billionaires row. And if you guys, I'm sorry, I always say this at the end of my shows. If you cannot donate Listen. I'm not a millionaire, but if I see someone on the side of the street when I'm going on the Cross Bronx and I'm in dead stop traffic, you sure as hell, I'm giving my only water in the car. I'm giving my only dollar. Even my husband the other day was like, babe, you don't even know. This little kid came out with some bag of something. I had no idea what it was. I was like, babe, pull out the money. He was like, you really want those? They got pits. I don't know what he was. It was some type of Puerto Rican seeded thing. I was like, I don't want them. Just give him the money. He was like, okay, because my husband knows I'm very gracious and very lovely. And I gave the kid the money. I don't even want it. And the kid went like this. Oh no. And I felt so bad. I gave him $5. You have to help people around you. If you want this beautiful life that you claim to be a part of God and a part of the world, you cannot. I get that you get forgiven for your sins, but you got to give back to people. You have to give back. You were put on this earth to give back to people. You were not put on this earth to be selfish, rude, and arrogant. You are put here to help somebody. One voice can change a future, and that's what's important. So, Diana, thank you so much for being on our show tonight. Thank you for your 4 books.
Pleasure.
So really quickly before we go, can you please give the links to the names of the books and the links for everyone to find you via Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook?
The best way to find me is thisisdiana.com. Just the way it sounds. ThisDiana. I mean, like, there's no double N's or anything. Thisisdiana.com. Thisisdiana.com is where you're going to find all the books. You're going to find the special candles I make, to help you sleep, and all kinds of oils that I specially blend with lots of love, and everything is there. This is Diana. I also have a podcast on Spreaker, and it's all This is Diana. That's it. It's very simple. ThisIsdiana.com.
Okay. All right, that's it. So, and then This is Diana Navarro. Is it the last name on Instagram?
On Instagram, yes. On Instagram,
Right, so-
it is This is Diana Navarro.
But only because Instagram obviously is, what it is right now. So This is Diana Navarro on Instagram, and you guys, you have no idea. I'm feeling. I had a rough day. And a family member went into the hospital to have an emergency surgery, and all my friends were texting me. I'm just reaching out, and I still had that meeting about the homeless in Los Angeles, and my little Gigi is here for me, and I pushed through for you, and I know that you pushed through for me, and I know you wanted to be here tonight but you're going through what you're going through. But please tell us you'll come here in person, because I would love to have you here in person, because you're very close to me. When you told me where you live, by the way, she's very close to me. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for tonight, and thank you for your Sleep Sweet spot, and thank you for your amazing memoir. Thank you for You're Not Crazy. Thank you for giving yourself to the world, because everybody wants to talk about famous books and their life stories. Well, guess what? It ain't about those people. It's about the realistic people that you meet every day of your life, the people that are going to change your life. And you and I connected 11 years ago, and we were a lot younger and a lot skinnier back then. Well, you still look exactly the same. But
you
I
can
just
age better.
yes, mentally, you have tuned me back into such an amazing place in my life, and I love you so much. Thank you, Gigi, for coming down tonight. Thank you guys for tuning into the Backstage with Ladylife. Next week, an amazing, another Tony Robbins favorite, Heidi McGurk, is on my birthday show. This is my pre-birthday show. So thank you guys for tuning in with Diana Navarro. This is Diana Navarro on Instagram, and this is the Backstage Pass with Ladylife every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Instagram, YouTube, on all platforms. And thank you, Mike, for being the best producer that I have. I love you guys. Thank you so much for chiming in tonight. We love you. Thank you.